Time now for a tropical update. Hurricane Sandy still pounding Jamaica as an 80-mile-per-hour hurricane.
That's right, Jim Cantor, Dr. Greg Postel on hand in the Global Forecast Center. And guys, every time we get that new advisory from the National Hurricane Center, we have to look at the forecast and see how that has changed down the road.
Yeah, and what's interesting is we're almost a little bit more focused on down the road, quite frankly, because of what's happened today with the computer models and the fact that they're starting to turn with a lot more confidence this now hybrid system. And what I mean by that is kind of a half nor'easter, half tropical system toward the northeast coast as we go into Monday and Tuesday. But that's not to say we're not going to have impacts before that.
That's right. I mean, right now we're dealing with an 80-mile-per-hour hurricane, and it is over Jamaica right now. The latest advisory just came in from the Hurricane Center as of 5 o'clock. It's moving north at 14 miles an hour, and we're going to be watching this motion over the next few days because it looks like that is going to play a critical role in our impacts in the United States. The pressure is 970 millibars.
That's we'll be watching that too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't think, at least it doesn't look like right now, it's going to strengthen much over the next 24 hours. It's got a little water to go over once it moves away from Jamaica. But there's some other factors that might sort of limit its potential for intensity there. So I think it's going to hold its own as it moves northward into the Bahamas. I think the official forecast from the Hurricane Center, we'll see what the latest advisory is for it to be close to a hurricane strength, but probably strong tropical storm as it moves northward.
Let's show this new track, and we also have some new advisories.
That's right. So Thursday evening, so in about a day, it's still a 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm. Not much change in this new advisory. Continue to move northward as a Category 1 on Friday evening, about 150 miles east of Miami. That's the center, but
that's the change. It's a little bit stronger now.
It is a little bit stronger.
To the Bahamas and close to Florida.
That's
so,
right.
That's interesting. And because of that, we have warnings up, right?
That's right. That's right. We do. Yep. And now also watch what happens as we move through Friday and Saturday. It begins to turn toward the northeast. So we're going to start right here. This is Friday evening, 7 o'clock Friday evening. We're pretty confident this is where it's going to be, right out in this region, right in here. Those lines are fairly close together, and each one of those lines, let me explain this, each one of those lines represents a different forecast of where the center of Sandy they think it's going to be. So the fact is that there's a pretty good agreement it is going to be about maybe 150, 200 miles east of the east coast of Florida and moving northward from there. But as you move through the weekend, you might think, okay, this is going to recurve out to sea, right? You think it's going to turn away from the United States.
Right.
But we're seeing more and more computer models come into play that show by the early and middle parts of next week, it's going to be turning left back toward the west, toward the coast of the United States, likely somewhere in the northeast coast. We're seeing more and more of that.
You know, down through here, some pretty warm water with the Gulf Stream still this time. They're all the way up off the Jersey Shore, really.
Yeah, and that's right. I mean, that's exactly why we're basically one of the reasons why we're holding the intensity as a strong tropical storm, at least in part because the water is so warm. We're seeing water temperatures in that area where it's supposed to move very close to 80 degrees, and that is enough to support a hurricane. So, you know, unfortunately, we have some warm waters along a very long track as it moves off the east coast of the United States. The good news is that the waters cool down significantly as you move closer to the coast, you know, say from Philly on northward to Boston. As you get close to the coast, maybe even 200 miles offshore, the water temperature drops dramatically into the 60s.
Yeah, but you know what? That said, you also have an expanding wind field.
It's a very
strong wind field because of the potential low pressure here, which would be sub 960, maybe?
Yeah.
The models are correct?
That's right. Some of these models are spitting out some incredibly low pressures. Uncommonly low, historically low. We have, going through the record books, we're trying to find numbers that kind of match these forecasts, and we can't find any except for,
Let's show who is going to be impacted on Monday and Tuesday.
Here we go, Monday. This is the cone.
We could call it now.
And we're going to extend this cone to go into next week, and we think that areas from the middle Atlantic all the way to Maine need to be on alert that this is a potentially, developing situation that could bring very nasty weather into this part of the country with lots of wind, lots of rain, and it really could cause a lot of problems middle part of next week.